Hey guys, thanks for checking out this case study. So I think you're going to get a lot out of this if you're a family law attorney running average for yourself, or you have an agency running average. Basically, this is a case study where we went over how we increased the family law attorneys' leads by about 300% and reduced their cost per lead by about 70%. So what we did is we put together a case study. It keeps all their information private, so there's nothing to worry about there. We go over the top 7 things that we found that we were able to tweak or change altogether to get them the result. And I want to preface this by saying this case study outlines our Google Ads audit process. So it's something that we do when we first get started with a client who has an existing AdWords account. And basically what we do is we look for areas we know that we can improve what they're doing now, or maybe there's areas that they're completely missing that we know will be beneficial. So it's something we do for every prospective new client, and it just gives us very good plan for how we're going to make things better. It also gives us an idea whether or not we think we can actually help them at all. So if you want to take a look at my screen right here, you'll see this is an example of a PDF I put together. So right now what you're watching is the first of 7, I think it's going to be 7 videos of the case study, because there's 7 what I call ROI hacks that we go over in the case study. And some people prefer to have a PDF, some people prefer to watch a video. So I decided to do both. I have a PDF, which gives you a lot more insight into making things actionable. It's something you can hand off to your marketing team if you're a lawyer and you don't actually run your own account, or do yourself if you're a self-doer with AdWords. Also, if you want to just watch the videos, you'll get a lot of the same content there, but there should be a link to this case study below. I'll just show you what I mean. So basically, you've got the intro that kind of introduces some of the data that we cover in the case study. And then you can see along the way, there's actually a way you can get us to do a free AdWords audit for your account if you are an attorney. If you're an agency or you're somebody who's working for your client and you're on your own, but if you are an attorney, you're looking for help from an agency like us, we're happy to take a look at the account and do an audit for you. But there's a special link, which is right here in this case study. It's not on our website or anywhere else. We do charge for audits most of the time, so it's something we're doing for people who download this case study and take action. But you'll see that there's ROI hacks here, along with our audit findings, what we actually found, some examples, some pro tips here and there, and then of course practical applications so you can actually take the information and make it actionable if you're a self-doer, or if you have an agency that, quite honestly, if you have an agency and they don't know this stuff, there's a whole other set of issues you're probably dealing with. But it doesn't hurt if it's somebody internally, maybe it's somebody you pay in-house to do your marketing, then you can share this with them as well. The other thing is this case study of the 7 ROI hacks I found, it goes in order of the easiest ones to implement to the more advanced. So it's one of those things where I felt like it made sense to do them in the order where if you only had an hour at a time to do some of the hacks that we recommend, you can get more of them done quicker by putting them in this order. So I hope that made sense. They're not, doesn't mean that the first one's the most effective. It just means it's the fastest one to implement and the fastest one to troubleshoot. And then you can follow along as we go down the line. So I already pre-recorded the first video. You're going to see a different shirt. But I'm about to switch over to my screen right now and kind of walk you through that first ROI hack. Enjoy the case study. Look out for all 7 videos and hope you enjoy. Thanks. So the first one is pretty obvious. You probably hear this all the time, but the first one is using the right landing page. And landing page could be synonymous with website. The point is you want to land people on a page specific to what they're searching for, and optimize for conversions, but that's another point later on in the case study. So if you guys can look at my screen here, I'm looking to the side of the screen. You can see right here, this is an ad group. We have a campaign for child custody. Let me just get rid of this for a moment. So now this was a campaign that was in the account when we first audited it. This is what another agency did, I guess. And this was what we were auditing. So it's pretty sparse. There's only 3 ad groups, but you can see the campaign is named child custody. So we know that they were targeting child custody keywords. I also know that this client has a child custody website, as well as a child placement website. Landing page, not website. So the idea would be, if you're doing an audit, or if you're doing any kind of Google ads at any length of time, you want to drive traffic to the most relevant page based on the content and also based on what people are looking for. So if you look here, you see we've got 3 ad groups, and this top one here is getting all the traffic, or not all the traffic, it's getting the lion's share of traffic. And you can also see that in this particular date range, there's 141 clicks and 1 conversion at $785. Now that to me stands out. When you see a conversion rate of 0.71% versus something like 6% for the ad group right below it. Now I can't say that these keywords were exactly the same or nothing else changed because I wasn't running this account, but I can tell you that the major difference that I noticed in this particular, between those 2 ad groups, is that the top one is driving people to the home page, whereas the second one's taking them to the child custody page. That's a big mistake, and you can see it right here in the numbers. Also, part of this first tip, this first hack that we found in the audit was, using ad extensions, Sitelink extensions intelligently. So if I were to just show a Google search result for family law attorneys, give me 1 second to pull that up. So you can see right here, we have family law attorneys, and I'm here in South Florida. But if I'm looking for a family law attorney, and if you are a family law attorney or you've worked with them if you're an agency, then there's all kinds of different practice areas that fall under family law. It could be child custody, could be divorce, could be, obviously child placement. It could be prenuptial agreements, right? There's all kinds of different practice areas or specialties under family law that if somebody's doing a search for family law, it's good to give them a way to drill down deeper without making it too difficult. So one way we do that is with site links. So you can see right here, these are just random, I don't know who these people are with these ads, I'm just using this random example, but you can see right here for family law attorney, this law group, they have a scheduled consultation, site link, practice areas, that one could be helpful, client testimonials. So none of these site links are bad in and of themselves. But if we can scroll down and find a good example, I may have to do another search. All right, so it actually took me a minute to find a good example here, believe it or not. The example I had, I guess the guy isn't running ads or didn't do a very good job of keeping things right. But I did a search for Tampa family attorneys, and basically I found a guy all the way in the bottom here. This guy here, La France Law. You can see here, he's got something very general like family law attorneys, and he's helping people to dig deeper into something more focused. So if somebody was typing in family law attorneys because they wanted to know about child support, right, that's what their issue was, or that's what's on their mind, then he's got a site link extension right here to the child support page. So the person doesn't have to go to their main page or family law page, or maybe they go to the home page and have to find their way around. Collaborative divorce, child custody, right, alimony calculator. So this is what you want to do. You want to have ways people can drill down into more specific pages of your site based on a more general search. So you wouldn't do this for something like, you probably wouldn't do something like child support or prenuptial, right? Because really that's as specific as you're really going to find traffic for a lot of times, at least with any real amount of impressions or traffic. But for something like family law, it's very general. If you were a personal injury attorney, let's say, for another example, and you wanted to, people are looking for a personal injury lawyer in Miami, then you probably want to have auto accidents, wrongful death, slip and fall, right, that sort of thing. So people that are looking for personal injury can click through to the page that makes the most sense. So what that does is, number one, it gets them to a page where the content is more relevant, but it also helps them start to pre-sell themselves by seeing content. Hopefully you've done a good job with content. We talk about that on as another one of these issues for this case study. But it can help kind of set the stage for them to reach out to you. If you have some kind of a really good track record in one of these practice areas, and you don't have to hope people will land on the more generic family law page and never get to the more specific page for their their issue at hand. So this was the first, what I call the ROI hack, what we were able to do to get 300% increase in leads for this client and 70% less cost per lead. This is the first item in our list. Once again, if you want to download the whole list, check the bottom of this email or click through, and you'll be able to download a copy of it. And hopefully you enjoyed watching. Any questions about this tip, go ahead and leave a comment below. Thanks.